What is up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. So thank you all. I just want to say real quick, thank you all who joined in my live stream, on my birthday live stream on the 15th. Thank you for the ones who joined in and the ones who also were watching. It meant a lot. I had a great weekend celebrating my birthday. I was very hungover, and during my hangover, my friend brings me a bottle of whiskey as a birthday present. Thank you, Desiree. I'm pretty sure I will need that when my depression hits later on in the summer or in the winter time during Christmas. But anyway, salud. So in case you guys aren't familiar with Rock of Love, it starred Bret Michaels, and Bret Michaels was, or still is, I don't know, they're still together, the lead singer of Poison. So this reality show was basically about a desperate man finding love, and here are some desperate women wanting a rock star, even though some of these women had no idea who he was. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I never liked dating shows. I never liked The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, or any other ones that were like spin-offs or, you know, like country dating, whatever the hell it was. I don't care. Ray J, remember the Ray J, For the Love of Ray J, and the Flavor Flav one? New York, yeah, I remember New York too. I remember that bitch. No. I never cared for any of those dating shows, but this one was different. This one, I mean, not only, when was the last time you saw a rock star wanting, you know, to find love? Because we all know rock stars are like whores and they don't care. So this was different, and you knew it was going to be good, because Bret Michaels isn't really an actor or anything, so he can't act to save his life. So you knew he wanted realistic as possible, like he wanted reality as possible, not scripted reality, because you know, spoilers alerts, they are scripted, so just let you know. So with this show, there was so much truth to it, like you could tell it was different, and I think that's why it had such a great popularity to it. Here's the thing, I'm gonna get on Bret Michaels a little bit. I might not be a big glam rock fan or anything like that, or hair metal, and I definitely hate to admit that any of those guys back then were hot, especially Bret Michaels. I think he's the one who takes the cake. Bret Michaels is the guy, the really hot guy from high school who knew he was hot, and he didn't even know you existed, and you just, you know, to comfort yourself was like, it's okay, he's gonna get old and ugly and nobody's gonna want him, and everyone's gonna be like, wow, what was I thinking? Or maybe he'll end up in jail. And no, things turn opposite. He aged well, and he has success, and you hate him even more. That's Bret Michaels to me. That just made no sense probably, but I don't know, I guess because like majority of you guys are male out there that watch me, kind of think of it like the hot prom queen girl that just didn't like you and that she probably bullied you. I don't know. But I really liked the girls on this show. I thought they all had great personalities and great characters. Don't get me wrong, the girl Brandy, I think it was like Brandy C, I'm not sure, she was a little annoying. I probably would never really hang out with her. And then there was this other girl who was like a Jessica Simpson knockoff. And then there was Tiffany, who was like, don't threaten me with a good time. Like, she is forever known for that, and all she was drunk 100% of the time. Like, she was not there, like there was nothing there, and she was probably on like, I don't know, some kind of chemical drugs or something like that. I mean, there was a few, obviously not. Like Lacey definitely looks like a backstabber. With her, I was trying really to like figure out, is this a fake character or is this a real character? Is she, because for those of you that don't know, on The Hills, obviously we all know that's scripted. Spencer Pratt played a good villain. People really loved him, but it was all an act. So I was trying to think, like, is Lacey doing like basically the Spencer Pratt, you know, motive? And The Hills at that time was very big, and then eventually came in Rock of Love on VH1. Was it VH1 a classic, or no, I think it was just regular VH1. I had a really hard time figuring out Lacey's character compared to the other ones. Heather just had a strong personality. I loved Heather. I really loved her a lot. I hated how they would throw cheap blows at her when they're like, oh, well, you're a stripper. Are you ever going to quit being a stripper? Yeah, and Bret likes to go to the strip club, so what's the difference? Like, I hated how they tossed that in there in a cheap way. There was some things that I hated in that show because it was just typical girl on girl hate. I don't think it was sexist at all, this show, because I know some people hated the show because they thought it was sexist. Not at all. I'm a feminist, and I'm telling you this right now, that show was not sexist. Was there girl on girl hate? Yeah, but there's also guy on guy hate on the fucking Bachelorette and stuff like that. It's, you know, it's competition. It's more like competition I saw in this show and a little bit of girl on girl hate, yeah. So, but I just thought, like, I think the cheapest blow was when they kept telling Heather, well, you're a stripper, you know, are you ever gonna quit? And yeah, and Bret Michaels likes to go to the strip club, so he ain't an innocent little baby boy either. And I highly doubt him being in a serious relationship is gonna stop him from going there. So it's like, that's the only thing I hated, was how much they used the double standard in there. It's like, okay, no. Like, with this reality show, I really try to put myself in, like, Bret Michaels' shoes. Like, this guy is obviously very desperate to find love, and then you have these women that are very desperate to find love. Although sometimes, I'm sorry, again, this is just me being nitpicky on, you know, dating shows or dating reality shows, whatever you want to call them. It's just the fact some of these women were like under 25, like, girl, you have your whole, like don't, why are you on here dating some guy who's in, like, probably, I think at that time he was like in his 40s or something like that, or mid 40s. Like, why are you on here dating some 40-year-old guy with 2 kids? Like, I'm sorry, no offense to you single daddies, but it's just, you have your whole life ahead of you before you decide to, like, I'm gonna settle down with a guy who has kids and maybe I'll have a kid with him. Like, I really like the girl that, spoiler alert, he picks the girl Jess in the first season. I really liked her a lot, but at the same time I'm like, girl, like, why? But then again, I'm like, okay, if you're going in just to have fun, because Bret has said, I'm just here to have fun with these girls, but at the end I want somebody that I want to build a relationship on. He never said marriage, he said somebody that he wants to build a relationship on. So remember that, people, remember that, because I think the problem when we see these reality shows, we all think they're going to get married right away. No, they only have like maybe 6 weeks to get to know each other. And you got to remember, Bret has like 20 other girls he needs to know before he knows that one girl. But then again, and it is so different how my mentality has changed from when I first saw this show, because I was like 19 when I first saw Rock of Love, maybe going on 20, I'm not sure. I just remember, you know, thinking, oh, that bitch a slut, oh, this bitch, and oh, like, you know, all the stupid typical shit that, you know, a dumb 19-year-old would say. So but now when I dissect the show a little bit, like, I love the women on here. I think they're all have like strong personas and they're all strong in their own way. Only thing is, like, sadly it was over a guy, but at the same time I kind of saw it more for, like, not really for the guy, because sometimes I could see it was just plain out, straight out competition. It wasn't even about him. Like, I'm not saying they didn't care for him, like, but I think a lot of them knew, like, hey, I'm not gonna get picked, but I'm gonna be here just to have a good time, and there's nothing wrong with that. Rodeo, like, I loved her, she seemed like a strong woman and all, but girl, you need to stop crying. And you could tell she's a little sensitive, and yeah, she had a lot going on with her son or whatever. But it was just like, yeah, she was definitely one of those people that, you know, that just have to say a word and everything cuts you off, it doesn't let you talk. I can't be around people like that whatsoever. But all of these women were different, and that's the point of reality shows. Like, when you have a reality show, it doesn't matter what the topic is about, you could not have the same group of people. You just cannot. They have to be different in every way, shape, or form. It's very rare when you see, like, it's the same group of people. Maybe you, like, if it's one of those, like, LA Inc. or, you know, Miami Inc., yeah, you'll kind of see the same group of people because they all work together or whatever in the shop. But when it comes to, like, making drama, obviously, like this show, no, they cannot be the same type of people. If you haven't seen this show, I recommend you to watch it. It's on YouTube. The first season's on there. Just type in Rock of Love and then you'll see, like, first season. I think they have all 3 seasons on there, I'm not sure. But I only rewatched the first one. It is super fun to watch. I loved every minute of it. It's really good to take your mind off shit right now. Bret Michaels is hilarious because all he could do is think with his dick. This guy, like, is not a trustworthy man whatsoever. Like, I would never trust this guy. He looks like he'll be somebody, like a daddy that I'll just want to, like, have one night of fun, and I'm not even going to spend the night. I'm just going to leave. But what I loved about this show especially was Lacey's dad. Like, Lacey's dad, first of all, gentlemen, if you're ever dating a girl and she hides her whole persona from her dad of who she really is, do not marry her. Do not. She's the manipulating bitch. Especially if her father looks like this wearing this fucking salmon turtleneck. Do not, no. Let it go. Be like, bitch, be gone. I just thought he had some nerve to ask Bret Michaels, like, if you're gonna be dating my daughter, then I'm gonna want you to sign a prenup because I make a lot of money and she's very successful herself too. I'm like, if I was Bret Michaels, I'd be like, bitch, I don't need your goddamn money. Do you not know who I am? I'm like, what the fuck kind of nerve was that? Oh, but Heather, I loved you, Heather. Like, Heather, you were great. Like, I really loved you. I love the relationship she had with her parents. I just love how strong she was. She put too much her heart on her sleeve, though. I mean, that's great if you don't mind, like, sharing a guy, whatever. But I obviously do. I would never fucking do that. I would share him with another guy. But that's about it. Like, you could tell which way I go more towards. I know I'm more of the dick side. I'm not about that tit girly pussy threesome type. I'm more about the dicky threesome type. But you know, she really did everything out of love, this girl, and I knew Lacey was gonna fucking backstab her. But I fucking love Heather. Like, she was my favorite out of all the seasons. And then, you know, like I said, I didn't watch the other 2 seasons, but I remember them vaguely. I remember who won. I do remember watching a little bit Daisy of Love. If you don't know what Daisy of Love was, it was just a spin-off of the 2nd season of Rock and Love, because Daisy lost and Daisy was like this cute little rock star girl, whatever. I stopped watching that show just because I just thought she was just an idiot. I couldn't, no. I just thought it was dumb. You're gonna have a bunch of guys on there and then you're gonna give them like cute little nicknames, and then the one guy, London, she wanted him back on the show. He left the show and it was like, I don't know, he was like such like a punk. Like, you could tell he was a punk anyways. But I just remember, like, he just had his own emotional imbalance, and then you have her who's like crying over one guy, but yeah, you still got all these other guys. So her emotions were all over the place. Like, she could not keep them in check. It's like, girl, no. Obviously, you don't know how to play the game when it comes to a reality show. And then the fact that you just, I don't know, I just find it desperate when you say it straight out, I want a boyfriend. Like, I remember that commercial real well. I was like, oh God, girl, no. Like, at least like when Brett, when he came out, he was like, I just want to meet that person, you know, and give it a chance. Like, no, she was like, I need a boyfriend now. Like, oh, that is desperation, and that's not going to go well. All in all, great season. I loved it. And as for the spin-off Charm School, well, Charm School was a spin-off not just of Rock of Love, but of all the other dating shows that was on VH1. From Ray J of Love or whatever it was, the Flavor Flav one. Oh God, that was, no. So, I remember Sharon Osbourne was the host, and then we also had Ricky Lake, I think. She was the host of it too, one year. And I didn't like that show because that to me was sexist. You're trying to change these girls who were perfectly fine, in my opinion. No, they just were. Like, they were perfectly fine. Maybe some of them had like emotional issues, but they could just go to a shrink for that. But and then I just never will forget, I forgot the name of her. If I could find a picture of her somewhere around here, so I'll put it up. I just remember I think she told Rodeo, she was like, well, when you're dressed like that, what are men gonna want to do? How are they gonna treat you? No, that right there was sexist, people. Rock of Love was not sexist. These women just wanted to fucking have fun. That's all the way I saw it. And Bret Michaels just had a handful of women. He didn't know what to do with them half the time. Like, it was hilarious, some of these fucking contests that he had. It was kind of sad in most places. Like, one of the contests, like, I get it, back then it was only about, like, it was 2008 or 2007. Remember, there wasn't really much of screenshots. There wasn't really much of like dick pics or like sexting going on that much. You had to do it the old-fashioned way. If you were on the road, was pick up the phone, call them, and have phone sex. And there was a fucking contest. In order to win a date with him, you had to talk dirty to him, and he had like some kind of like blood pressure machine. I forgot what it was called, but I'll put the name around here. But he had it strapped on to him. That's funny. And it would like measure the blood pressure of basically of his member, and whatever girl will like make it shoot up the highest, the you know, the digits and numbers or whatever, gets to go on a date with. So that was just dumb. was just like, okay, are this, I mean, it's one thing with the whole bike riding thing. That one was good. And then it was kind of hilarious too to see the girls like, oh my god, I have to share a date with this girl. Like, yeah, then don't go on a dating show. So, but anyways, you guys, that's all I have to say about this show. It was a real great show. You guys should give it a chance. Watch all 3 seasons. I am going to say this, the 3rd season, at the end of it, you are going to be disappointed on who he chooses. We all, oh god, I forgot their names anyways. They both started with a T, I think. But yeah, everyone knew that Brett made the wrong decision. And I know he had another reality show after that where he goes back to like his baby mamas. I remember he goes back with her, but I don't know if they've lasted or anything. I am watching a few other reality shows from that time. It has to do with rock and roll and metal, so I will get to you. They're probably not going to be as long as this though. I don't think I'm going to concentrate on the 2nd Rock of Love or the 3rd, just because I feel like I'll be repeating myself. It's just I'm going to talk about different girls and that's it. So anyways, Brett, not that you're watching this, but here's to you, and hopefully you found somebody. Probably not, because you can't make a decision to save your life. And y'all take care of your vaginas. Have a wonderful day.